This video slide presentation is on supporting students with dyslexia. What is dyslexia? In relatively simple terms, dyslexia is a language-based learning disorder that involves difficulty reading due to problems identifying speech sounds and learning how they relate to letters and words. It can impact spoken language, reading, spelling, writing, and word pronunciation. Dyslexia is the most common learning disability. In fact, it is thought to affect at least 10% of the population. However, some sources say it may be as many as 15 to 20%. What causes dyslexia? It's neurologically based. Brain studies have shown that people with dyslexia haven't developed the neural network in the brain that is typical of successful readers. It is not related to intelligence, and it is commonly transferred genetically. Can it be cured? No, dyslexia cannot be cured. It's a lifelong condition. However, it can be remediated with structured literacy instruction. Brain research has shown that effective interventions can help develop a neural network in the brain that is typical of successful readers. Through early identification and appropriate supports and interventions, students with dyslexia can learn to read accurately and fluently. Symptoms of dyslexia. Dyslexia varies in severity, and the impact depends on the effectiveness of reading instruction and/or remediation. One key problem for many people with dyslexia is difficulty identifying the separate speech sounds within a word and/or learning how letters represent those sounds. Difficulty rapidly identifying letters and words, making it very difficult to read fluently. And some students with dyslexia can have a hard time with reading comprehension, spelling, and with writing. Signs of dyslexia in preschool children. Some signs that might indicate that a child has dyslexia are as follows. As dyslexia can impact individuals differently, children that have dyslexia may only exhibit some of these signs. Talking later than other children, difficulty pronouncing words, trouble learning the alphabet, numbers, days of the week, colors, shapes, and/or how to spell or write their own name, difficulty learning nursery rhymes, trouble following multi-step directions, difficulty telling or retelling a story in the correct sequence, difficulty separating sounds in words and blending sounds to make words. Some signs of dyslexia in school-aged children include reading well below the expected level for their age, having difficulty decoding single words. They may be slow to learn the connection between letters and sounds. They may confuse small words, such as at and to, said and does and goes. They may make consistent reading and spelling errors, including letter reversals, such as D for B, as in dog for bog. Word reversals, such as tip for pit. Inversions, such as the letters M and W, or U and N. Transposition, such as felt and left. And substitution, such as house and home. They may transpose number sequences and confuse arithmetic signs. They may also have trouble remembering facts. Some further complications of dyslexia include stress and anxiety, poor self-image, and depression. For some, dyslexia doesn't only result in trouble reading, writing, and impacted academic performance, but can also lead to emotional and social difficulties. Some ways to support students with dyslexia in regards to materials. Give them extra time to complete tasks. Simplify written directions. Present small, broken down assignments. Highlight essential information. Provide practice activities. Develop reading guides. Use audio recording devices as well as assistive technology. In regards to instruction, some ways to support students with dyslexia include using explicit teaching, repeating directions, maintain routines, provide graphic organizers, use step-by-step instructions, combine verbal and visual information, write keywords on the board, and emphasize continual review. 5 activities and I'm going to share can be used to support students with dyslexia. Letter and sound flashcards can help them with phonics and sight words. They can be purchased or you can make your own using index cards. You write an alphabet letter on one side and the sound it makes on another. Include a written word and corresponding image that uses that sound. Go through each card with your students, setting aside the ones they get wrong to practice later. With practice and repetition, children with dyslexia will begin to see a pattern between print letters and their specific sounds. Letter art can help them with letter recognition. Assign a letter for your students to paint, draw, or to cut out. Maybe a letter they've had trouble writing, or one they often mistake for a different letter. Encourage them to make it colorful and be creative and have fun. Once they've finished, have them share their art with the class. Building words with magnetic letters. Many students with dyslexia benefit from tactile activities, so they can rely on more than just words on a page while learning to read. Hand out alphabet magnets and magnetic boards to the students. Have them build simple words with the magnets to give them a visual and tactile reference for different letters. To help them with phonemic awareness, have them play a name game. For this activity, have your students gather in a circle. Choose a student's name, sound it out one syllable at a time while clapping in between syllables. Then have the class repeat the student's name together in the same way. Go around and repeat this activity with every child's name. And once your students get the hang of it, try playing this game with vocabulary words. The last activity is to help with letter sound connections. It's to play rhyming games. They help students make connections between letters and sounds. Read a picture book with plenty of rhymes to your students, such as llama, llama, red pajama, brown bear, what do you see? And one fish, two fish, red fish, and blue fish. After each rhyming pair, brainstorm other words that rhyme to encourage students to practice phonological awareness on their own. Through early identification and by using tried and true intervention strategies as well as some of these activities, educators can help students with dyslexia to become fluent readers.